Are we still playing with the sound, people? Okay. Thank you, Katrina. That and our music. That's beautiful. So inspiring. Thank you. Happy Father's Day, everybody. You may think that because you're a woman, that excludes you, but it doesn't. We all have that masculine energy within us. We all go to the Father within. And those who have come in a male body have the feminine energy. Now, Dwight is a perfect example of that. We go to restaurants, and the waitress will come up and say, "What can I do for you ladies today?" And he laughs, and I say, "There's only one lady here, and trust me, it is not him." But we all have the masculine and the feminine energy. And yes, we celebrate fathers and we celebrate mothers because, as such, we have major roles to play in life. But we need to understand what these masculine energies are and what the feminine energies are. Now, according to Science of Mind, which is our teaching that matches with unity beautifully, but the father represents the masculine principle. The mother represents the feminine principle. Now, what does that mean? A masculine principle. The masculine is the assertive principle. It's the self-conscious, self-propelling power of spirit. And the feminine principle is how it works. Okay? It works through the feminine, which is the law of cause and effect. We see the masculine as being strong and powerful. And we tend to see the feminine as a little weaker, maybe. Not as assertive as the masculine. But let me tell you, folks, it is the feminine that does the work. It is the feminine that brings forth the manifestation. Okay? The masculine speaks the word, makes the decision, and the feminine carries it through. We say this, and the law says, okay, this. Whatever it is we're giving out in the masculine, we're getting back through the feminine. So what I give out, I get back. This is why we're told, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because whatever it is you're giving out in thought, in word, or in deed, you're getting it back. When you're pointing your finger out, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. You are never talking to anybody else. You think I'm up here talking to you? We talk to ourselves. Everything we say is about ourselves. We really cannot hide anything about ourselves. We're amazing beings. And the more we focus on that divine aspect of ourselves, the more we bring it out into our world. And that is our job. We are to bring it out into our world. And I want you to think about what it is you truly value in life. What is valuable to you in life? There's no wrong answer here. In Matthew 6:19 through 21, Jesus said, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasure buried in the ground, a place where rust and moth destroy, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves a treasure in heaven, where neither rust nor moth destroys, and where thieves do not break through and steal. For where your treasure is, there also is your heart." Where your treasure is, there is your heart. Life is a beautiful thing, and we value it. It is not something that we can save. It is a gift. We don't create life. Life creates us. And it is the greatest gift that we can have. And as we honor that life within ourselves, we are able to express more than we ever thought we could before. Because life can do anything through us. We are so strong and so powerful that we can move mountains. I'm sure we've all heard the story of the mother who lifted a car off her son because it had fallen on him. That is not something she could have done otherwise. Who of us can lift a car? But we have that within us that can do whatever we choose. I want to thank all of you for the prayers that you have been sending for me and Dwight and my family. One of my sons decided to move on the 1st of June. And it was hard. And yet, I knew that I had to let him go. He gave me warning in February when he had a heart attack. And I knew this life is tenuous. And then he had an accident in May and moved on June 1st. When we sang the song, I need a friend this morning, that got to me. Because I just so appreciate all of you as my friends. So thank you. Dwight and I have been playing tag team here, and so tag, you're it.
So Richard has his iPad, and I was told I have a D-pad, and the D-pad is a Dwight pad. Thank you, Vicki. So we're talking about heaven. What a concept. I know back in my early years, heaven was a place. It was a place I went to when I die, if I'm good, and if I accepted Jesus as my personal Savior, or if I'm Roman Catholic, or if I'm this, or if I'm that. But if I'm not Christian, there's no way. So we, in this beautiful collective, know that God has no favorites, that all of us are favorites of God. And we are the creators of heaven. It's a state of being, it's a state of mind. So I used to, Jesus says he likens it to a treasure buried in the ground, or he likens it to a mustard seed. And Christ says of the mustard seed that you planted in the ground, and everything that seed needs, everything that seed needs to come into its full potential is automatically provided and given to it. So you are my soil. Everyone, every experience in my life, every situation is to help this seed, this perfect idea that's known in mind as Dwight Colby Smith, everything I need to nourish and nurture this seed to come forth into its fruition, into its natural love, its beauty, its harmony, its coexistence with everyone and everything is automatically within us, within every one of us. Ernest Holmes says it this way. Ernest Holmes is the founder of religious science and science of mind, which Thelma and I are ministers of, and love the teaching, love unity teaching. New thought is just the beautiful thing. And new thought doesn't mean we have something new over the world. New thought just means if I think anew, I have a new creation. We talked about the masculine and the feminine just a moment ago. I'll get back to Holmes if I remember. And so it's a Dwight thing. So we have the idea within us. And it's in stating that idea that it comes back. So if I like what my life is giving me, then I must be thinking the way I want to think. If I don't like what life is giving me, a new thought will give me a new experience and a new effect, a new condition from that thought. So going back to Ernest Holmes, he says that I am known in mind. We're all known in mind by the name we bear. Our name is very important. If you pray for yourself, be sure you include your name in that prayer. That's how we're known. So every day I am making statements about who I am. I evaluate myself. Ernest Holmes says that that's how the universe knows us, by how I know myself. Not the me that you may see. You may see this dapper dude with a jacket and a tie and bare feet. But inside I could be scared. I could be feeling unwhole, unworthy, unloved. And the universe is going to give me not what you see, but what I believe about myself. So it's important, if I have a low belief of myself, to raise that belief. So I can either see myself as an unworthy individual, or I can accept the truth of me, the truth of each of us. I am the Christ, becoming the Christ, all the time, every experience. Whatever idea is within me is the one that's being nourished. It's the one the universe is going to support. So if I call myself the light of the world, the universe supports that. And that's where I'm going to stay. I'm not going to go with anything else, because I am the light of the world. We're each the light of the world. We're each meant to be a leader of that light. And the more leaders we have, the more light is in the world. Think of the world with 5 billion Jesuses. The potential of each of us is there. Imagine the change that can make, is making. What's happening Charleston, South Carolina. How do we deal with that? Do we get into this world is horrible, disgusting, I don't want to be here, I'm afraid? Or do we know there's something meaningful in this for me personally and for all those involved with it? It's not to say this without compassion. A violent death has got to be a very horrific thing. But it just shows us the nature of the world that other thoughts are creating. If our thought is pure all the time, it's going to change that world. Ernest Holmes says you can have a cup of, I'm just going to call it coffee, and drop by drop, put in clear water. And after a while, the coffee will be replaced with clear water. Every time we think a positive, good, holy thought, we're replacing and neutralizing all the negative thoughts. Each of us are so powerful. Using that masculine, feminine principle, the masculine of creativity, the ideas, my choices, and the feminine just letting it be, let it go out to the universe for it to fulfill it for me. You know, the father plants a seed, his job is done. He's all done. He's got nothing more to do, except support his wife, of course. But the womb, the woman, is naturally, of her own accord, producing and creating that baby. That's just the example of how the universe works. Okay, we plant a seed, and the seed is nourished and comes forth. Wow. I could talk for another but I got off on a tangent. So I'm going to finish with something that's very important to me. It's all important to me. Everything's important to me. Everything is nourishing me all the time. But I want to share with you something that I think is very personal. And that is the Lord's Prayer. We all know it. We say it. We may know it so well that we don't even have to think about the words we're saying. So what I've done with that is I made it very personal. I know heaven is within, right? We all know that. Where is heaven? Within. So when I get to, if I can remember it, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. And then what I say is, as within me. That's how I started this journey. And then I thought, wow, what about my Father who is within me? Hallowed is my name. I'm not very good at memorization. My kingdom come, my will be done on earth as it is within me. Give me this day my daily bread, my nourishment, my nourishment. And forgive me my debts, my mistakes, my errors, as I forgive others. As I forgive myself, I forgive you. If I can't forgive myself, ain't no way, I don't care what words I use, no way I can forgive you in the feeling nature. Lead me not into temptation. That's very powerful. For a time in my life, I had an addiction. And at a time in my life, I decided to stop that addiction. And the way I did it was because of this very phrase, lead me not into temptation. When the temptation is there, when the thought is there, when that attraction is there, that's time to stop. That's time to say I'm choosing a new thought and letting that one drift away. But if I do fall into the temptation, which I no longer am servant to, get me out of it. Help me next time that decision arises to make a different decision. What comes after that? Yeah, deliver me from evil, for mine is the kingdom. Mine is the power. Mine is the glory. For now, for tomorrow, forever. And amen. So I thank you. I thank you for being part of my soil and my family.